everybody, and welcome back for another bullets, blood, and neon-tinged Mad Panic review. And if you love synthwave music, cyberpunk imagery, and lots of 80s film references in your video games, then I have the perfect game for you, and that is Huntdown. This is a 2021 release developed by Easy Trigger, and physical copies were published in Japan by Beep. And while I'm playing the Switch version here, it can also be played on the PS4, Xbox One, and Steam. I'll go into detail, but if you're someone who doesn't like to sit through reviews, I'll say right now that this is one of my favorite games I've played in the past few years, and I highly recommend it to anyone that enjoys run and gun games or just video games generally. I'm just sorry it took me so long to get around to playing it, so let's take a closer look and see why Huntdown is so damn awesome. Huntdown is a game that wears all of its inspirations on its sleeve, and for a big fan of 80s action and sci-fi films like me, it's a big part of what makes this game so enjoyable. It's set in a dystopian future where people either become subservient to the government and corporate entities ruling the world, or they turn to a life of crime, in which case you can look forward to having your brains splattered on a wall by one of the game's three protagonists, one-liner spouting bounty hunters working for the Shimamoto conglomerate. The story sets the stage for a blood-soaked cyberpunk adventure, and each of the game's three playable characters comes with their own unique weaponry and distinct personalities, but they all feel like they just walked out of an action flick. Just to name a few, you'll notice influences from Terminator, Blade Runner, RoboCop, Cobra, The Warriors, and a lot more, even including 80s movie posters in the backgrounds of certain stages. Your playable characters also have a bottomless well of one-liners and quips to make use of as you blow criminal scum to bloody bits. You'd think this would get annoying after a while, but it actually remained consistently funny and gives the characters a lot more personality than they otherwise would have had.
You are terminated.
Let's do it.
And in terms of visuals, this is perhaps the best looking game to utilize retro-style pixel graphics I've ever seen. Every stage is extremely detailed and a feast for the eyes. Honestly, I had to just stop occasionally and stare at the backgrounds and just appreciate how much time and effort went into making each stage feel alive. It perfectly captures the dystopian cyberpunk aesthetic, and going along with that, the soundtrack is amazing. I've become a fan of synthwave music as of late, and the music here I would happily listen to on the train ride home at night. It sounds awesome and perfectly matches the look and overall feel of the game.
By the numbers, boys.
You need to pull yourself together.
I've already gushed about this game quite a bit, and I've barely mentioned the most important element, which is of course the gameplay, which is incredibly fun and can offer up a decent challenge as well. The premise is pretty simple. You select one of the three characters that has their own unique handgun with infinite ammo, and a throwing weapon which also has unlimited usage, but you have to wait a bit between each time you use it. The game is split up into 4 different areas of a Blade Runner-esque city, and each area is controlled by a different gang and features 5 stages to complete. It's your job to go into these areas, eliminate these gangs with extreme prejudice, and collect bounties, which in this case are the bosses that you'll face at the end of each level. I mentioned that each character comes equipped with a handgun and throwing weapon, but in every level, you'll find a ton of weapons to make use of, including Uzis, rocket launchers, laser guns, melee weapons, C4 explosives. You can even find the old painless chain gun from Predator, which is all kinds of awesome. And as you annihilate your enemies, they usually explode into a bloody mess. You can turn the blood down or off in the options menu if you really want to, but I obviously did no such thing.
You've just been erased.
That's messy.
Take you to the bank, the blood bank.
There's a bit of platforming thrown in here and there, but for the most part, this is a pure run and gun, and each stage concludes with a boss fight, and these are really cool. Each boss presents a unique challenge and a unique personality as well, and they can get pretty damn tough, especially the final boss of the game that just might have you pulling your hair out. Also, in each stage, there are a few bonus challenges to complete, such as killing every enemy in the stage and finding hidden suitcases, and in addition to the original story mode, there is also an arcade mode that challenges you to blast your way through each of the game's 4 areas without saving. You have to complete them in one sitting and rack up your high score, and if you lose all of your lives, you will have to sacrifice a bit of your score to continue. This mode also features way more enemies to take out, more stuff to collect for score bonuses, and rewards you for things like kill streaks and especially stylish kills. It adds a whole new dynamic to a game that was already extremely fun, and this mode might just be my preferred way to play. In short, this game looks amazing, it sounds amazing, and it's one of the best run and guns ever made, in my humble opinion, of course. So again, I say, if you love games with guns, gore, and groovy tunes, you owe it to yourself to play Huntdown any way you can, because it is awesome.
Holy shit, some serious kick.
So there you go, everybody. That's my little review of Huntdown on the Nintendo Switch. Again, you can get it on a bunch of other platforms, but it's amazing. In case you stuck around to the end of the video, this is the little postscript, the little outro, where I just sort of jabber on for a little bit. But this game was really great. I actually have to say thank you to GameSack for featuring it in one of their episodes, because this game totally flew under my radar when it was first released, but I absolutely loved it. And again, it gets my highest recommendations. One of the best run and guns I think I've ever played. And one of my favorite games of like the past, I don't know, like 5-6 years. It's really, really good. So if you've already played it, let me know down in the comments, what did you think of it? And are there any other kind of like indie games like this, hidden gems, if you will, out there on the Switch or otherwise, Steam, all that kind of stuff? If you know, I really like Huntdown, so is there something else out there similar to Huntdown maybe that you think I'd really love? I'd love to hear all of that down in the comments. So thanks again for watching, everyone. I really appreciate it. And until next time, take care, and I'll see you then. Goodbye.